What's good, y'all? Welcome to our channel. I'm Maya.
And Sarah.
And we are charmed and dangerous.
Because you know we're charming.
And we be dangerous.
And we charming.
And we dangerous. And we charming. And we dangerous. Especially, I feel like when we are talking about Aries moons, because they are dangerous.
They are.
Be dangerous.
They are dangerous.
They can be a little finicky.
Fire.
You know? Being ruled by Mars. You know?
Very impulsive, I would say.
Yes. I feel like naturally their emotions, like they're going to be passionate, bold, and confrontational people.
They really are.
You know?
I feel like, you know, Aries moons are truly one of my favorite placements in people. I've had the privilege of having some coworkers that I've still remained friends with to this day that have Aries moons, and I love their energy. They are the initiators of the zodiac. You know, some celebrities that have Aries moons are Rihanna, Cardi B, Selena Gomez, Angelina Jolie, like powerhouses that pave the way for a lot of people. And you know, I feel like Aries moons are some of the most fearless people.
Hell yeah.
They share their raw, real emotions with ease and don't see the point of ever holding back when it comes to expressing their inner workings, which is, you know, your moon sign. They are very, very, very courageous in that sense. Yeah.
No, I love that Aries moons aren't afraid to face situations head on. You know what I mean? They aren't the ones who are like gonna steer away from a conversation. Like, no, they're gonna directly address it with you, and that's something that I really appreciate. They're fiercely independent, like you said. And it's funny because I feel like they do love like relationships and like companionship.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they love love too, and they love to be happy and optimistic beings. But they do have this very confrontational, fiery side to them that maybe sometimes confuses people because, you know, maybe when you think someone who's happy and go lucky, like you may not think that they like confrontation, but that's very much like this placement.
You know, I think of that song I-N-D-E-P-E-N-D-E-N-T,
whatever it goes.
Me trying to keep up with like I-N-D.
How you spell independent?
The Aries are like, bitch, you sing it then. But you guys know what I meant.
Right.
She got her own cut. She got her own hat. When I think of Aries moons, I literally think of that song.
Yeah.
Because Aries moons don't need anybody to co-sign their shit.
Nah.
And their shit is loud, their shit is aggressive. They still don't need you to co-sign it.
Nah.
Like, they don't need anyone to back them up. And, you know, some of the most brave people are Aries moons. And some of the most brave people are the ones that, even if everyone else is disagreeing with them, are able to hold their own. And this is Aries moon. Yeah. They protect what's theirs and have an endless supply of energy that they can tap into at any given time. Yeah. You know, the energy doesn't run out, which is why it's so important for them to partake in any sort of physical activity. You know, I say this about all Aries placements and fire placements in general. You need to be moving your body. Yeah. Otherwise, that energy stays stagnant and it's just not healthy for you.
No, you have random outbursts, you know what I mean? Like, it's really not good, especially for this sign. I feel like Aries moon people, they have this deep desire to get out and do something. You know what I mean? And they have this really strong sense of self to me because they often are the leaders of their friend groups because they're the first to like do something or accomplish something, you know? And because of that go-getter nature, these people tend to be confident and very thrill-seeking people, you know? And like whatever they see as like a thrill, right? Because their other placements matter as well too. But to me, as you said, Aries moons, they have such energy and that they need for it to be outlet somewhere where they feel that it like matters, you know? Like they're such passionate people. They want to do something where they feel like it's making a difference or like you're gonna care after. And to me, they are they're obviously such wonderful like builders and manifestors, and therefore can be really great in like the home too, but they won't ever be like 100% happy if they only stay in the home. You know what I mean? Like they have to have other things going on outside of like their family or like a relationship to really keep them happy and like striving for more. Yeah. Even though that's something that they also like, again, you know, like don't get me wrong, they love their partnerships and like relationships too, but that independence still stands.
I mean, it's that individuality that Aries energy so desperately needs. You know, they need to be able to hold their own and do things that pleases just them. And while to other people, they're like, that's selfish. No, like, in this world, you need to be able to do things for yourself before you help out anybody else.
Yeah.
And that's what's ultimately going to make you a better person to everybody else. And Aries energy understands that. I also feel like their competitive nature is something that needs to be talked about more, because it's honestly beautiful to watch, but also scary if they feel like they're not the best at something. They feel like they have to constantly prove, you know, their status as the first place winner, whatever that may be. Like, especially if it's something that they've been good at, like, they want to maintain that. And they hate feeling like somebody else can take that away from them. And that is where that drive comes from, that competitive Martian spirit comes from. And their emotions are heavily tied into it because it's, you know, moon. Yeah. It's your moon sign. So your emotions are very much parallel to how you are showing up in life. Yeah. And the things that you consider to be the best at.
It's obvious people with Aries moons, like, they're prone to being impatient and impulsive, right? Yeah. But to me, they also have a wisdom that's too often, like, poo-pooed. You know, like, as the first moon sign of the zodiac, Aries moons, like, they have this ability to move through life by just trusting their intuition. You know what I mean? And allowing that inner voice to guide them through new territories. And it takes a lot of other people, like, years to learn how to trust that. And it just comes so naturally to Aries. And that's something that is so beautiful, you know? And to have that in the moon, like, that's something that's really powerful. And again, has an inner confidence and, like, knowing that I think a lot of other moon signs maybe look for. Yeah. And having, I feel like, this cardinal fire, it just naturally comes to you.
You know, Aries moons, they constantly have to be doing something in order to feel alive in this world. You know, so if your Aries moon partner, friend, or whatever is lacking motivation or drive, like, check on them. Because truly, they're cardinal fire. They're supposed to be leading a life that is motivating for others. Yeah. So if they're not doing that, they're probably not okay. Yeah. And, you know, straight up, you touched on the fact that they can be, you know, impatient, and it's true. Like, that's one of the downsides of this moon sign is their impatience and the fact that they can be irritable if things aren't going their way. And we all know in life, not everything can go your way. Yeah. And the way to make the best out of life is to go with the flow. Yeah. And not to say that Aries isn't flexible. It's just that when they get their mind set on something in Aries moon, they can become really, really frustrated that the world isn't seeing that their way as the best way. Yeah. And, you know, that's when the sudden bursts of emotions are popping in. And again, this is why physical activity is so important for this moon sign, because you will legitimately be very, very angry if you're not moving your body, because that is how you are processing these emotions. Yeah. That's how you're releasing these emotions.
No, Aries moon people, they can take things very personally, you know? And like I said, since they want to face things head on, if they feel disrespected by you, like, they will instantly snap at you too. You know what I mean? They don't care about the repercussions. That cardinal fire energy wants the instant gratification of being able to be dramatic and act out in that moment. Yeah. You know? And they can, the thing that I like about Aries moons is, like, in Aries placements in general, like, they usually pretty quickly get over it. You know, I feel like they're not really ones to, like, hold grudges. Like, in my experience with Aries moons, like, once they let it out, like, they're good. You know, like, they really aren't one to, like, hold a grudge.
No, yeah, I agree.
You know?
Because they know it's holding them back. Yeah. And they want to be moving forward.
It doesn't serve them. And I'm so happy you said, too, that Aries moons can be moody, because they really are. And I feel like it's not moody in the sense of, like, Cancer or Pisces, you know what I mean? It's just that they are, like, temperamental and will be quick to, like, pick a fight with you. You know, they're very confrontational. They want to say, like, well, this is on my mind, and this is what's bugging me, and this is what's bugging me about you. You know?
So they can squash it.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's, again, something that I really like. But for other people, it can come off as confrontational, or you have issues with authority, and it's like, why are you always challenging me? And I feel like Aries moons people, they do have issues with authority sometimes, you know, and sometimes they are challenging you. So those are fair questions to have sometimes, you know. But that's just them.
At least you know what you're getting.
Exactly. They're very direct.
They're upfront about it. They're not ones to have you read in between the lines like Libra.
Right.
You know, they want you to just get it.
Right.
So you can work through it.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. I will say, I feel like the most childish, like, I've seen these placements is when they forget other people have, like, needs and feelings and, like, states of emergencies. Yeah. You know, like, that childlike essence really comes out in Aries moons when they're, like, feel like they're down, you know, and they're expecting everyone to come scramble and, like, help them. And they're very, like, woe is me. And that's when I feel like I see them being kind of like their lowest vibrational and acting the most childlike. It's like you're very inconsiderate of like how you are presenting to other people. And of course everyone, when you're mad, you get a little bit like that, but I feel like Aries like doubles down and like sometimes gets like aggressive about it, of like, well, why aren't you supporting me, and like, how can you not see it my way? Yeah. And it's just like, it is very like a childlike mentality. Yeah, no, it's true. Honestly, I feel like I know some Aries moon men and they need to go to therapy or anger management to deal with why they get so angry when people don't agree with them. Yeah. Like, they get really, really, really irritated when they don't see eye to eye. Like, you know, Taurus and like, you know, the fixed signs get a lot of bad rep for people, like, not agreeing with them and, like, how stubborn they are. But I feel like Aries placements, Aries moons need to be talked about more. Right up there. Like, they get angry. Yes. When you don't see things their way. Yes. And they're incredibly stubborn. Yeah. They're so stubborn. It's crazy. Yep. And they will shame you and bully you to see things their way. Yeah. And mock you. No, literally. And make you feel dumb. Oh, God. Yeah. But they're very loyal. No, they are. They are. And they want to watch you win. So 100%. They can be very motivating people. Yes. And super motivating. You know what I mean? Like, you can watch them and how their work ethic and they're motivating, but also just like the words that they say are very like aspirational and like motivational to you as like a friend or a partner or a coworker or whatever. The last thing I want to say to the Aries moon peoples is I feel like, you know, many of y'all make your decisions based on your initial feeling or like a spark of something, and this makes things very exciting in the beginning and can cause y'all to like rush through the process. And we kind of talked about this in one of our other videos that, you know, like cardinal signs are always kind of trying to rush through things rather than like enjoying the process. And for Aries moon specifically, like, this can lead to mistakes and just like conflict in general in y'all's life. So I feel one of your greatest lessons or things you have to learn is to like balance that very strong intuition and deciding when to like take a beat a little bit and like come organized with your approach, you know, because I feel like people are going to respect you so much more when you come a little bit more organized with your ideas. Like, people are going to see you more trustworthy. And I feel like if you just pause for like 1 second, it's going to be so good for you rather than just instantly going in. I'm not saying sit here and think about it heck along, you know what I mean, because that is your superpower. But being able to be like, let me analyze this quickly before just instantly jumping in is going to be so good for you guys. No, that's honestly a great point, because I feel like Aries energy, it assumes a lot. Yes. And I feel like it makes sense, because when you assume, you can move faster. Yeah. You know? But that's not really how you're going to have the best conflict resolution or understand a process. Like, learn from your sister sign. Libra tries to understand the other side. Yeah. You know, and truly, when you try to understand people, when you're talking to them, when you disagree, it honestly makes the conflict resolution process happen a lot faster because the other side feels heard. This is why Libra is so good at resolving conflict, because they just naturally try and understand things from the other person's perspective. And I feel like Aries energy would do well to do that, but because you're so impulsive, you almost assume that you already know the full story and you act on that, which to other people can be offensive. And it's like, again, there's nothing wrong with it. There's a time and a place when we want you to be the first one going out there leading, you know? Yeah. But also it's nice to get a pulse check of people and then be the first one to go act.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely. All right, lovely people. Thank you for kicking it with your girls while we talk about Aries moon. If you're an Aries moon, comment down below. Did you agree with any of our points? Or do you know any Aries moons and do they be acting up like this?
I want to know.
We want to know it all. We're going to link our socials somewhere over here. We love you guys so freaking much. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Okay? We love you. Bye!